Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, my name is Nicole and I am a part-time reseller on Poshmark. Now, if you have been around for a while, you know that Tuesday is not my normal time to upload a video, but I just figured that this was such an important topic to make a video on for this week, and I also have another video coming out Thursday, which is our regular scheduled day for videos. But today I wanted to talk about the essentials or the reselling gift guide that will basically be anyone that is a reseller, anyone's dream list of things that they could possibly use for their business that you could get them for Christmas this year, or Hanukkah, or any other holiday that you celebrate. These are essential products that any reseller would be extremely happy to have if they don't have already. All of the products will be linked down below, and it makes it very easy to shop, and I'm sure some of these products will be on sale for Black Friday and also Cyber Monday. So if you don't already have these products, or if you're a family member of a reseller and you want to get them a perfect gift but you don't know what to get them, you can go based on this list. And make sure you are subscribed so you see Thursday's video, which is another really great video for resellers. And also just make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the weekly content that I come out with. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. Now, one of the most important products that I always wanted as a reseller, I just never had, was a mannequin. Mannequins are quite expensive, and I just never understood why they were so expensive, but they are really essential because it really makes showing the product that you are, listing very easy. So if it's a skirt or a dress or even a top, it really just adds so much to the photo as opposed to it just laying flat on a hanger. So I got a mannequin recently in the last couple of months, and I use it in every one of my listings now, and it makes such a big difference. This is a product that a lot of resellers would love to have, but maybe some just don't have because it was too expensive, or just they never, got around to buying it. But a lot of the times this is something that makes a big difference in your listings, which helps you really make a lot more sales. So I highly recommend a mannequin. And at the bare minimum, if you don't want to get a mannequin, I totally understand, but I think the next best thing that you could do is get a backdrop and a backdrop stand to give yourself a nice place to photograph items. A lot of the times people don't really know where to photograph, and they'll just photograph wherever they can, but you want to have consistency and you want to have white backgrounds because it just looks more professional. So if you have a white background, it'll make the listings look a lot better. But bonus, if you have a mannequin with the white background, it will add, an even better touch. But a background and a background stand are very essential for a reseller, and I have one in my room now, and I use it again on the regular. Even when I'm taking pictures of like shoes and stuff like that, it kind of lays on the rug, so that way I can kind of lay down the shoes and they have a white background as well. So this is really essential, like I said, and a lot of resellers don't have it, but it's really not that expensive, and it's definitely worth having. The next product that is very essential for any reseller to have is a steamer. So I have a little mini handheld one, which is what I actually use in my personal life as well. I use it for traveling. I use it to steam anything. I've even used it to steam a bridesmaid's dress before. It works for just about anything, and it's small, so it's like, compact. It doesn't take up a lot of space. Now, if you want like a professional kind that stand up on its own and probably steam a little bit quicker, you can invest in one of those. But I highly recommend just getting a portable handheld one. They work just as well, and it doesn't take up as much space. So if you have a reseller on your gift guide this year, a little steamer is a perfect gift for them. The next couple of tools that are really essential for any reseller to have are a tape measure and a fabric shaver. These I use all the time. I use the tape measure in every single listing to take measurements, and I use the fabric shaver if there's any pilling or any, stressing in the fabric. So they are very essential to have. They are very small. They are things that you can like throw in a stocking if you do stockings, and I think they're a great gift, and they're very cheap, so it's not like they're hard to get, but a lot of resellers just kind of make do without them sometimes. But I get a lot of questions asking for measurements, or I have a lot of pieces that I thrift that either have, pilling going on or different things like that. So having a fabric shaver really makes a big difference to the item of clothing, and it really brings it back to life. So I think these both are very essential to have as a reseller. The next products that are essential that any reseller would be very happy to have are any kind of cleaning products. So my top 3 for cleaning my products that I resell are Emodex, which is like a stain remover. It removes ink and other kinds of stains. Folex, which pretty much gets any stain out of anything. It works so well. And then a magic eraser, which I use for shoes. These 3 products really bring the life back into anything, because if there's a stain in it, if there's you know, an ink stain or something in a purse, any of these products will bring those stains out. And I've actually saved so many products before from, you know, just having to redonate because they had a stain in them. And I actually just used Bollux on an item the other day and it brought it completely back to life. It looked brand new again. So these are products that I highly recommend having, and you never know when you're going to need them to get a stain out of something. So I just think that they're good to have on hand. A couple other products that are essential for a reseller to be able to store their items are either storage bins, if you put all your items in just bins, or hangers if you store them in like a closet and you hang them all up. I also have a shoe rack that I put all my shoes on that really helps me stay organized as well. So any of these things are really helpful to have if you want to be organized. I know a lot of people just kind of throw all their inventory in, you know, a big pile or don't really have a good system behind it, but staying organized makes it really easy when you go to make a sale and you're trying to find a piece. So I highly recommend these black velvet hangers that I always have. I have the pants version and I also have the shirt version as well. But I also have these organizers in my closet that I store all my leggings and pants like that in, and that just helps me stay really organized because I can find exactly where something is, and it looks organized and it stays clean and it's very easy to find things. I also have pant hangers where I put all my jeans and heavier weight pants. I also think if you are a reseller that sells a lot of purses, or if you know a reseller that sells a lot of purses, having a good purse organizer that goes on the door is a great way to save space but also stay organized. I have this one that's just basically 2 long straps that connect to the bottom of the door and the top of the door, and it just has a bunch of hooks on it, and I've hung up all my purses on this, and it makes it really easy to stay organized, but it also is dead space, and I didn't have a better spot to store all my purses, so for me, just getting them off the ground and hanging them on the back of the door was a great way to save on space, but then also have everything organized and, you know, neat. And the other thing too is I used to just shove the purses down below where my shoes were, but it would kind of like ruin the shape of the bag, or the shoes would make the purses get dirty. So now they are off the ground, they are protected, and they keep their shape better. So having a purse organizer is a great way to use the back of the door as like extra storage. And if you don't want to use a purse organizer for the back of the door, you could also use a shoe organizer. If you are mainly a shoe seller, you can use one of those like shoe cubbies that go on the back of the door and save a lot of space that way as well. Having shipping supplies is also very essential. So tissue paper, thank you cards, tape, anything like that. Boxes you can get for free at the USPS, and I do that all the time. I also use my own packaging. But I highly recommend getting tissue paper for all your packages. I highly recommend getting thank you cards to put in your packages. It really goes a long way and adds such a nice personal touch to it. And then also packing tape. So a lot of resellers go through packing tape very quickly, and so having that as like a gift would be the perfect way to make it so they don't have to go out and buy that constantly. And so I think, you know, that kind of gift goes a very long way, and it's very much appreciated to those that use it so frequently. And finally, I want to talk about having a label maker. So I use a label maker to print out all my labels, and this is a product that I never had for so long, but then I actually bought last year on Black Friday, and I don't know why I waited so long to buy it. This makes a big difference when you're printing out your labels, because I used to like print them on a normal printer. I'd have to cut the labels out and then I'd have to tape them on to the package. But a lot of the times in transit, the label would get messed up, or the label would rip, and it was such a waste of paper. It was such a waste of ink. And it just wasn't the most efficient way to do things, and not to mention that it took forever to cut the label out. So now having a label printer, and it's a thermal label printer, so you don't have to replace the ink, and all you have to do is replace the paper, but you really don't run out of paper that often. So I've actually had the same roll for the last year, and I've yet to have to replace it, and there's still a lot left on the roll. So I think this is a great thing to use, and it saves you a lot of time. It's so much easier, and it's so much more professional. This sticks right onto the package, so all you do is peel off the back sticky part, and then you just put it right on the package, and it's so quick and easy. And label printers are, not super cheap, but they are definitely a great investment, and actually they're cheaper than having to replace the ink and the paper all the time in a regular printer. So if you or somebody you know could really benefit from having a thermal label printer, I think this is a great gift idea. And also, if you want to throw in a pack of paper to go with it just to hold them over even longer, I think that also is a great idea. So like I mentioned, this was just I think these are the most essential products for a reseller. This is not the end-all be-all list of everything, but the list will be down below with all the other links to things that are, helpful that I use that maybe somebody else could use if they are a reseller. But I just wanted to touch on the most essential products that I could not live without as a reseller. These are things I use every single day when I am packaging a sale, when I am getting a sale ready, or when I am listing an item. They are all very important products for every reseller to have, and I think if you really want to make that reseller happy on your list this year, or if you want to treat yourself, if you are a reseller, you want to treat yourself for Black Friday, now is the time, because things are going to be on sale. And things are not always on sale, and especially with like a thermal label printer, getting it on sale on a great deal is the best way to do it. I remember when I got mine, it was like half off. It was like some $50 something, I think, and it was so worth it at the time. So now is the time to shop, and that's why I wanted to make this video right around Black Friday timeframe, because that way you can start shopping and getting those deals. So I hope you found this video helpful if you are a reseller, or if you know someone that is a reseller that you didn't really know what to get them this year for Christmas. I know it's so hard to come up with gifts for some people half the time, but I hope this was helpful, and I hope it gave you some kind of direction on where you can go. And so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more reselling content, please feel free to subscribe, and also click right here to see more reselling content. I have a video on what things you shouldn't do on Poshmark, and I think that's a great video that would be really helpful. And if you want to watch a video on things that are new on Poshmark, different features, click right here. But until next time, I'll see you then.